The Pentagon is investigating the apparent leak of U.S. military documents pertaining to Ukraine's war effort. Several classified documents marked secret and top secret began circulating on Twitter and Telegram this week. In them are details of plans by the U.S. and NATO to assist Ukraine's military buildup ahead of what is believed to be an imminent counteroffensive to dislodge Russian forces currently occupying the east of the country. Analysts say the documents appear to have been altered to reduce Western estimates of Russian casualties, that sign leading to speculation that the Kremlin itself may be behind the leak. Both Ukraine and Russia, meanwhile, are suggesting that the leak is a ploy engineered by the other side. Whatever the source, it constitutes a major breach of U.S. intelligence security. Well, Philip Ingram is a former senior British military intelligence officer. He's now a journalist specializing in military intelligence, and he joins us from London. Philip, thanks so much for taking the time here. Let's start with the leak itself. How bad is this? Does it have the potential to compromise this anticipated spring counteroffensive?
I don't think it's going to compromise the spring offensive, but it's a very serious leak given the classification of some of the elements of the documents. They were classified top secret, and there were caveats on there at lots of other different compartments, which meant that only a very small number of people should have been able to gain access to them. And one of the areas was in US classification terms called no foreign, which meant no foreigners, no non-Americans should gain access to those documents, yet they seem to have been released. That is significant.
Well, that leads me to the next question, which is, do we have any idea how this could have happened? There's been some speculation based on the date on some of these documents that it may have been leaked while Pentagon officials were in Germany. Who has access to these kind of reports, and how could it have gotten out?
Well, there'll be a very small number of people who got access to it. And the interesting thing is it's photographs of the documents that have come out. But whenever documents like that at that classification are printed, they have to be very carefully controlled. And you get printed on them as well and stamped on them. You get control numbers. None of that existed on this. So we have to look at everything. They look realistic. I've seen the documents. I've seen two versions of them. I've gone through them in detail, and they look genuine. But you have to always have in the back of your mind that this could be part of, in Russian terms, maskirovka, or masking or disinformation, as both sides seem to be accusing each other of. So the elements in them are in the right ballpark of being true, but how much of it's the truth and how much of it is there to mislead, I don't know. They were officially dated on the 1st of March.
Well, you touched on this for a moment there, both Ukraine and Russia suggesting that this could be a ploy by the other side. Who has what to gain by this information coming out?
Well, the information part of the war between Russia and Ukraine is significant, but it always is in every conflict. The great Chinese philosopher, 6th century philosopher Sun Tzu said, "All warfare is deception, all deception is warfare." And we have to remember during the Second World War, Operation Fortitude, run by the Allies, convinced Hitler that we were going to invade through the Pas-de-Calais and not into Normandy. And we've got the Ukrainians getting an awful lot of Western equipment in to prepare and build up for their counteroffensive, with the Russians having seemingly failed to have their early counteroffensive to try and wrestle the initiative back from the Ukrainians. So there's a lot going on the ground. There's a lot of moving parts, and the information domain in this is really, really important. And this is where, having looked at the documents, the information in them could be compromising, but not in a way that would affect any tactical battle on the ground. And therefore, I think there is a danger that we may play too much into it. Will it stop or affect the Ukrainian counteroffensive? No, I don't think so in any way.
Well, now, throughout this war, there have been a few moments where it has seemed like Kyiv and Washington were perhaps not sharing everything with each other. If this was leaked from Americans, if the documents are genuine, is this likely to put a damper on intelligence cooperation between Ukraine and its allies?
The answer is no, it won't, because there is more intelligence coming from the West into Ukraine to help them target against the Russians, and Ukraine is relying on that. The intelligence flow into Ukraine is as significant, if not more significant, than the tanks, the shells, the HIMARS rockets, and all the rest of it. However, if it is a genuine leak, it will be hugely embarrassing to the Americans because of the classification these documents are at, and they will have a massive counterintelligence operation going on to try and identify who might have done this, what their motivation was, and what else they could have leaked. Because if genuine, there's more that's in there that could be of significance to the Russians.
All right, Philip Ingram, a specialist in military intelligence. Thank you so much for your time and analysis.
Thank you.